Alright, I'm playing the video you gave me of you taking the time machine hood off. That's awesome. Any problems getting that off?
The aluminum plate that is attached to the actual hood,
Right.
is not centered over the hinges. So I actually had to bolt half the plate to disconnect the hinges.
Wow.
So that was a little bit inconvenient, which I'm going to
Rectify. Yeah.
And then I'm also going to reattach everything in a much better fashion so that we're not running into 100-mile-an-hour winds pulling shit off the car.
Yeah, that is something to consider. Next up, you're removing the engine. Jesus.
So are you like ready for that? It's a pretty violent process, buddy. I don't know what to tell you.
You're just yanking that out. Why do you have to? What's up, little man? They're yanking the engine out of the time machine, Cam. Check it out. Look at that. No more engine. Oof. I mean, it doesn't matter if you break anything when you do that.
Well, I've already removed all the parts that I'm concerned about.
Before you got to this point.
Oh yeah. So after we got the engine out, I'd already shut the camera off, but I'm like crawling all over the thing, just looking at stuff, trying to figure out how I'm going to get the trains out. And there's like a control harness that gets mounted to the firewall, and it runs down back behind the engine over top of the transmission. And where the exhaust was, it burnt through like 2/3 of the wiring. It's
up like to the transmission.
Yeah, everything that controls your shifting, your shift solenoids, your governor, your all of it, all the wires were melted together.
So you're just telling me the lines were crossed. If we had just put them back together, it would have gone into all the.
Yeah, like literally, you just had wires grounding out against hot metal, and I don't know, maybe $12-13 worth of wire. About 3 hours probably would have avoided this entire project. I don't know.
That's funny. Yeah.
It's kind of horrible.
Okay, hang on a second. There were wires on what exhaust?
So there's an exhaust.
Because it's been doing this for a while.
The way the exhaust is on that thing is on the passenger side. The manifold comes down and goes towards the front of the vehicle. There's a pipe that goes over top of the transmission and then back past the driver's side out the back. That pipe that goes over the top of the transmission, whoever worked on it or did whatever did not get those wires far enough away from that pipe. And they were just laying on there. And over the years, it started melting through the casing and getting into all that stuff. And it's been like this for a long time. Like all the wires are green, corroded, rotten. And yeah.
But that makes sense. That obviously, like once you got into the gear, you were fine. It ran fine. It just didn't always start in first, like you were like, am I starting in third? Or sometimes reverse worked, and when it worked perfectly. But then sometimes it wouldn't go into reverse, and there was nothing you could do about it. So you're telling me that there's nothing wrong with the transmission.
Right, absolutely. Like when that thing would get into gear, it would lock in. It wouldn't slip. It wouldn't spin. It didn't smoke any clutches. It was either in gear or not in gear, and that's not signs of a bad transmission. The clutches weren't going out. The converter's not bad. Everything seemed to work. It just wasn't getting the signals it needed to tell it which gear to pick.
Wow.
So part of that's mechanical. There's a cable that tells it which gear to go in, but it doesn't know when to activate solenoids if the 1981 computer's not telling it what to do.
So the good news is that we've got a great automatic transmission with only 20,000 miles on it, completely ready to sell. Fuck me.
Absolutely.
But I didn't have to do this.
Those, yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm really glad we're doing this. This is fucking awesome.
I mean, fuck me.
But at the same time,
Yeah.
We definitely got away.
Hang on. Cameron really wants you to see his cars books. You got Heavy Metal Mater. It's a big car book. Yep. And of course he's got Mater's Tall Tales. All right, I'm gonna read these when I come back in. Just give me a few more minutes. And if you could make me a drink. The most recent one. This is you removing the transmission. Do you show?
Yeah, we did that today.
Do you show the You show the wires in this?
Yes.
Oh, the sound going.
I believe I specifically said.
Holy shit! Oh my God! Clearly, that's it. That's the governor, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, the wires going to the governor.
Yeah, that's
going to both shifts, Illinois.
God damn it! Wow.
Yeah, every electrical part of that transmission got melted together. Well, the harness.
Right. Oh my God. So it's perfect. There's nothing wrong with that. Well, I guess the good news is we have an engine that always ran fine, only had 20,000 miles, and a 21,000, and a transmission that only had 21,000. Holy shit. That's I mean, new. That's that's $11,000 worth of parts that we can probably sell for $7,000-8,000, right? Just because. Right. Fucking wow. Okay, so it's kind of bittersweet.
Yeah. The bad news is you've already spent all of your money.
Right.
The good news is we might be able to get a little bit back.
Well, I mean, even broken, that thing probably would have gotten $1,500 just because somebody knew what they were doing, could piece back together. So at least now it's worth quite a bit. Fuck, dude. Well, the other thing is to have gotten to that point, you would have had to take the engine off. I mean, it wasn't obviously not an easy find.
Oh, there was I would have never seen it had I not pulled the engine out.
Yeah.
I knew those wires existed, but they're melted and messed up on the top of the transmission behind the engine.
Where you could never see it. Jesus
There's just no way you'd ever see it.
Okay.